Hi,
Hi,
Nick.
Hi, Annalisa.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me here.
Oh, my pleasure. It's so good to see you.
It's good
And I'm
seeing
so
you
excited
too.
about the festival. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and I know that's true. I'm so glad to be talking to you, and it's no secret that I'm one of your biggest fans. Do you remember how you first got involved in the Big Bear Yoga Festival?
Well, I remember we did something at a farm with farm animals. That was, I
Yes.
think it was when we didn't have the venue because it was during the COVID thing or something. And so I was playing right in front of a beautiful cow and some goats, and we were on this beautiful farm, like a ranch kind of place. And
Yeah.
that was pretty special. I think maybe I know you through our local yoga studio here in Crestline, Refresh Yoga, and just through mutual friends in the yoga, meditation, spiritual community we have up here in the mountains.
It's a great community to be a part of.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And one
and
of the best
I
things
have
about it
asked
is
you
the
to,
Big Bear Yoga Festival.
oh, yeah. I have asked you to play sitar with the goats.
I've played a lot of different places, and that was pretty unique. That was pretty special.
It was. No goats this year at the Big Bear Yoga Festival. Not this year, but if people want the goats, let
Uh,
me know. We can always bring that back.
yes.
But we're coming up to the 2025 festival. It'll be this fall in October, and that's why I asked you to come on and chat with me a little bit. And the
Mhm.
festival's changed a lot over the years. Like you said, one year we were at a farm. We used to be at a YMCA camp. Now we're at the Performing Arts Center in Big Bear Lake. And it's also changed. I realized I was reflecting back, and the 2025 Big Bear Yoga Festival, Elevate Your Heart, is going to be different than it's been any year before. But the fact is, every single year it's been different. And the reason that happens is because it's a grassroots event, and the dynamic every year changes because it's an offering from our hearts to the yoga community. And so it's never going to be the same 2 years in a row, which is hard because we have to practice non attachment. um,
Yeah.
but let's talk about what you enjoy where we are now with the festival at the Pack. And you're going to do some different things. You're not going to be outside this year. You're going to be inside at the in the stage.
Yeah. So the last couple years that we've done it, we've been on an outside stage in the vendor area, and that's been wonderful. It's probably the longest performance I've done is at the yoga festival because it tends to be like 6+ hours, sometimes going into 7 hours of music where we're playing, my band, BombayRain, and then we have other amazing artists, including kirtan performers and dancers and the whole opening ceremony and all those things. And it's always a huge, wonderful event. And yoga classes that we do some music for yoga, sound bath, guided meditation. And so it's just always like all this variety and all these amazing, beautiful people. And we get to share that experience. And I think what's different this year, we're going to be inside in the auditorium, which will be in some ways really a nice upgrade because we'll be inside this beautiful auditorium at the Big Bear Performing Arts Center. And I've been there many times before. It's a really nice area. And then also, we're doing something. Our music is one of the things we're offering is going to be a little different as well. So we're going to be bringing in ecstatic dance now. So part of what we do is going to be guided meditation and guided movement and ecstatic dance with, normally a lot of most of our music is super chill meditation music, but when we do ecstatic dance, we have all the chill meditation sounds that transform into like house beats and techno beats, and where people are just dancing their booties off, and but it's all in the context of a guided meditation from some really wonderful practitioners that I'm bringing with me that are going to be leading that part of it. And that's going to be with sitar, with all the nice musical elements, but just bringing in some of that really energetic, energized, spiritually energized music and movement portion of it. So I'm excited about sharing that at the festival for the first time.
I am so excited about that. With everything going on in the world, as Taylor says, we need to shake it off. So, dancing is the perfect opportunity and it helps us heal inside and out and in a safe place with our community. I can't wait. I can't wait. So, you mentioned the sitar and you're holding the sitar. Tell me a little
Mm-hmm.
bit about that musical instrument because it's one of my favorites. I love the sound. I find it very calming and very connects with my heart. How did you start playing the sitar of all things? And tell us also all of that and about your background in Bombay Rain.
Okay, that's thank you for that question. That's a great question. I've had this sitar since I was 16 years old. Uh, a friend of mine, their dad knew that I was a music. I was 16. I was playing guitar and writing songs and stuff, and he knew that I was interested in music, and he had this sitar. Didn't have any strings on it or anything, but he gave it to me, and that just changed the course of my whole life. And I always thank him, Marty Fiebert from Seal Beach, a professor, retired professor of psychology, Cal State Long Beach. Awesome guy. But it's just made a huge impact on me. So I had this sitar, and I kind of had it for a couple years and didn't do much with it. And then I ended up taking it to in Long Beach, where I lived and grew up, the local guitar store, and they strung it up for me, and I started experimenting with it. And before I knew what was happening, I was playing at this local kind of coffee house, organic hippie place called Living Planet in Long Beach. And we were playing there every week. And I had my dad was just playing. He's an amazing multi instrumental musician. So he had decided he was playing cello, and so he's bringing cello in. And friends were doing percussion and guitar and synthesizers. And so this idea of Bombay Rain, the whole concept of it is that it's improvisational music, and we call it like improvisational space jazz. And it's so it's like the whole idea is we'll do a performance. Like if we're going to perform somewhere, we'll usually perform for 2 hours, and we'll bring together anywhere from 2 to 4 musicians, and we don't do any rehearsal or any pre-planning, and we just create the music spontaneously, and we end up in some incredible improvisations and journeys. And sometimes it involves storytelling and all kinds of, vocalizations, and all kinds of things happen spontaneously when we do those. And that's been going on sort of, 40 years. so we've had as many as 9 members in the group and as few as just 2 or 3. And right now it's more on the small side, which I like better because it's easier to be creative and be spontaneous when you have a smaller group. But I use synth loops and drum loops and samples, and then I use the sitar and bamboo flute and guitars and tuned guitars and synthesizer, and I use a lot of effects and things to create like a sound environment. And as I said, it's spontaneous and creative, and it's really influenced by who is there with us, and the people that are hearing the music and participating with us in that way are influential on the music because of just the energy that's shared in the room, and just everything is, all it all happens spontaneously. So uh, it's always a journey. It's always totally unique and new, and that's what's exciting for me about it, is in a creative way. It's just incredible to be able to. It's not like we're going to play the song we've played 100 times. It's like this is something brand new right now. Anything could happen.
I love that so much. And that's exactly what I was talking about the yoga festival, because it's from the heart and it's grassroots. And so every time with Bombay Rain is a new musical journey, and always fresh, and the people who are participating as attendees, your audience, your students in the class, they are also helping influence and create the music with you.
Absolutely, yeah. And when we're talking about ecstatic dance, that kind of also takes it to another level of interaction too, because people are not just passively listening; they're participating and moving, and also with those meditation practitioners that are involved, it just becomes a whole thing, and it's amazing and so
Oh, I
wonderful.
love
And
that.
to be
I
able
can't
to bring
wait.
that to the Big Bear Yoga Festival is so exciting, because this is something that I've been developing for a long time, and then to be able to come and share it with, it's always, we have always just amazing people with just such great energy there, and we have time to stretch out, and we have space, and it's like, Annalisa, you always tell me, do whatever you want. I say, well, what would you like us to do? Whatever your heart tells you to do. And that is a wonderful gift to be able to do that. So I appreciate that so much.
Thank you so much, Nick. It's true. And I think that's one thing that makes the Big Bear Yoga Festival special, is including people who are in the community in Southern California and around the world, but offering a space for exploration, for trying something new. And that's for the presenters or teachers, and that's for the students also. We want to have a new experience together and be able to create and express our creative side together. Where are you finding inspiration and your creativity right now, where you are at with your music and your art?
Well, thank you. That's a lovely question. I'm involved in the spiritual community, in the yoga community, and in the spiritual music community. And I'm, one thing that I remember, you had asked about when we got involved with the yoga festival all those years ago, and I can't help but think about Reverend David, who was, I think he was one of the connections that brought us into the festival, and what an inspiration he is. So he is a
Can
spiritual
you see
teacher,
that?
Reverend David. There he is. Yep. And I worked with him for 11 years as the music director at his spiritual center in Huntington Beach. And
I
uh,
keep them right
that
next
has,
to me, dear.
I love it. Yeah, we've got like a kind of a shrine in our house with him too. And uh, so he is one of the people that's really influenced me spiritually in my spiritual journey. And one of the things he taught was to have a daily spiritual practice: meditation, affirmation, and prayer, MAP. And it's that's something that I always have in my life, and I think that, and it's always evolving and changing. And I'm really interested in Eastern philosophy, Zen and Buddhism, and things like that. So my spiritual journey, the musical part of my life, is just part and parcel with that spiritual journey. So when I'm experiencing spiritual growth or trauma or setbacks or advancements, whatever's happening in my life, and it's related to my spiritual journey, it comes through my music. And so I have the honor and the privilege of being able to use music as a form of expression, as a connection, because music is such a spiritual thing. It's such a part of our soul and our spirit that we are connected with music. I also have I'm involved in music for children and young people. Sometimes I get to play music in the infant room at a preschool, and I'll go in there with my guitar and I'll play just some rhythmic sounds on the guitar, some songs that have rhythmic element to them, and I see these little tiny infants moving their bodies around, responding to the music, and I just think, music is a part of people. It's not something that we learn; it's something that just is part of us. And when we're meditating and we have music, and it's especially live music, it's like it's a conduit, to the spirit, to the interior world, and it can really be an aid in finding peace and serenity, and exploring and discovering things that
Mm.
we want to be able to, discover and uncover, and all that stuff. So it's healing, it's inspiring, it's celebration, it's play, it's creativity, and it's just dialed right into the Tao, like the flow and the Wu Wei of life. So yeah.
Thank you. I love that. And I really feel that too in my heart. And music is so healing. It can be really healing. And there's a growing interest in music as a tool for healing and transformation. And your work and Bombay Rain supports that.
Mm.
I bet you've had some people come up to you after performances and tell you how much they've enjoyed your work, or how your guided meditation or the music playing has helped them heal or access something inside for healing.
Yes. Yeah. It's always an honor, because I always feel like I'm on the journey. We're all on the journey together, So when someone says, "Oh, your music really touched me," or I felt something, or I discovered something, or I got in touch with something in myself that I wasn't aware of or needed to reconnect with, I just think, that's me too. I'm having the same experience. I just happen to be the one playing the music, and we're all kind of doing it together. So it is, and I think it's as much as you want to allow it to happen. I mean, you can hear music, and or you can let it kind of become part of the vibration of what you're experiencing at any moment. So it takes a willingness on the part of the person to allow it to become transformative. But I think what we do at the yoga festival, it just really lends itself to that, because it's like, here we go, we're going on this journey together, and it's a shared experience.
Well said, well said. So speaking of like individuals and their own experience, can you share any insights or observations about like beginners who come to Big Bear Yoga Festival versus advanced students? Because I remember the first yoga festival I went to, and I was really intimidated because I'm not a cookie cutter yogini, a cookie cutter yoga student. And I was really intimidated about going. And
Mm-hmm.
so I know that Big Bear Yoga Festival is different because we really focus on being inclusive of all people, including people who maybe it's their first yoga class ever or their first yoga festival. But can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I think what occurs to me when you said that is that if a person is just kind of like learning about the practice of yoga, or wanting to make it a bigger part of their life, or just wanting to experience it on any level, I think it's the Big Bear Yoga Festival is such a welcoming, non-judgmental, completely relaxed place to do that. And if someone could come in and not feel like, oh, I'm not wearing the right clothes, I don't know the poses, but just to come in and just be in the energy of it and see what's attractive to them, and just to observe a little bit, and just not feel pressured to even participate, and just kind of see what's going on. Have some delicious food, look through the vendors, hear the music, talk to people. And I'd say, like, it couldn't be anything less. No, there's no pressure for sure. And if they strike up a conversation with someone, then they just sort of like whatever level that they want to approach it from. And I could imagine somebody like you were when you first went to your festival, and just being able to come in and just see what it's like, and but not having to feel like, oh, I don't fit in, or I don't know what these people know. I think a lot of the people that are there are just there to enjoy the festival and may not take a yoga class, and just, well, here's some music, here's this, just to kind of experience the atmosphere. So yeah, I think it's perfect.
So true. And I work hard to make sure that we have a broad range of offerings. So if there's like a group of friends who want to come up and some of the group love yoga and they want to take yoga classes all day, they can do it. And maybe somebody else isn't as much into it, but wants to do meditation or hike in the woods. There's things for everybody in that friend group so they can come together and all enjoy and being in the mountains. And new this year, we are doing a creators village, which is all arts and crafts and creative expression. And there's many free activities so people can come and create where, from their hearts also in the environment, and not do a physical practice if that's not what's perfect for them. So we have a lot going on, yoga and other options.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, I think, for me, if I'm at a festival, I may just not be in the mood to take a whole bunch of classes, and I just want to kind of hang out and just enjoy the community, and maybe meet some new people, or just hang out and, yeah, meditate, relax. There's a lot more to it than just taking yoga, and it's a yoga festival, but it's also a community gathering. It's in an incredibly beautiful setting. It's up in the forest and the mountains. And yeah, if you want to take a walk in the woods and all that stuff is right there. It's right in the forest is right there. So
Yeah.
so I think people will enjoy it on any level. And then on the other hand, they might be like, I'm going to take all these yoga classes and really get into that aspect of it. Then of course that's going to be there too.
I love it because it lets people go with the flow and see how they're feeling in the moment and have a lot of options at the festival. So my personal favorite is the music. One of my biggest brags in life is knowing you, and your amazing musical talent is just so stunning. And I know you've performed for so many people and around the world. We're just so lucky to have you at the festival, and have been a long-term supporter of the festival. And I think one thing in particular for beginners is we select teachers and musicians and artists and performers who want to engage, who want to meet people, who want to say hello, who want to get to know people and expand their community. And you're one of those people who somebody can walk up to you and say hi, and you're excited to meet them and connect with them. And I just love that. Like, approachability is important for us in at the Big Bear Yoga Festival. That's something special. And that leads me to, tell me what you're planning for the festival this year. Now, you are performing and teaching, and you're returning as our featured musician and our featured musician for the opening ceremony, which you always start us off on such a beautiful journey together, coming together in the mountains. But you're also teaching the special dance movement with music and guided
Mm-hmm.
meditation. So tell us a little bit more what to expect. And do I need to have rhythm to join in that dancing? That's a critical question.
Okay, yes. All right. Yeah. Well, yeah, the opening ceremony is always super inspiring. There's always, you know, really high energy, wonderful people there to kick it off. And we do some special songs and music to kind of get the energy going. And there's usually like a dance element and a participatory element where people are coming together and sharing that moment together to kick off the festival. And then we also what we do. Of course, we're spontaneous, so things will evolve as we're on the day, and things will kind of be inspired by who's there and what's going on. But yeah, one of the things like we talked about was the ecstatic dance. So that's something where we're sort of combining really super chill meditation music and guided meditation. And I have a wonderful meditation spiritual practitioner, Shara, coming, who's going to be, I've worked with her a lot, and she's from Torrance. She's awesome. And so what we do is we kind of have some super chill music as we're all kind of centering and coming together, and there's a guided meditation taking us on a spiritual journey and then as that's going on, we organically ease into the music becoming more rhythmic, and then in the course of the session it'll get really super energetic. So we're even going to have like house beats and techno beats, and that's going to be evolving, flowing from the super chill into the real dancey stuff. And people are going to be moving in whatever way that is super comfortable for them. So some people just may want to be still or sit and just move their body sitting, and some people are going to get up and really dance. And there's guided activity during the moving part as well from Shara. So while that's going on, she'll be prompting people with certain kinds of reflecting and moving, and then it kind of chills out again. We kind of go back into like a real chill meditation. Then we might even come back from that and back into the energetic movement again. And then we come back into a savasana kind of a time and really meditate. And so the whole thing is just like a journey of the mind and the spirit and the body. And if people are open to it, then they're definitely going to go and through some transformative experiences. And then in addition to that, we also just have the real chill meditation stuff. We've got spiritual songs. We talked about Reverend David, so I have a bunch of songs that were written back when we were doing our spiritual center in Huntington Beach, and so I usually use some of those songs as well. And so we just have a variety of music. There'll be cello and percussion, and like I said, loops and beats and rhythms and drums, and I'll have my bamboo flute synthesizer. So it's very spontaneous, and it'll be wonderful. And then in between all those things, I always love it when people come up and ask, or I just happen to chat with people, ask questions, share experiences, and sometimes we even have people share on the mic about what they've experienced in relation to what's going on with the music and everything. So it is like a beautiful coming together, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
I can't wait. That sounds fantastic. So tell me, where can people listen to your music ahead of time? How can they connect with you and start getting into the vibe? I know we're pretty far off from our festival date, October 4th, but it's never too early to listen to your music, Nick.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so there's my website is bombayrain.net. So there's the website has some videos and some links from there to our social media and stuff. I have a meditation music podcast that I've had for years. That's called Sitar Meditation Music. So if you go into your Apple or Spotify and you look under podcasts, you say Sitar Meditation Music, there's over 20 episodes of pure meditation music with the sitar, the flute, and other sounds are there. There's an album. We have an album of with my dad on cello and bass, and it's "Move into Bliss" is the name of the album. BombayRain is the artist. So if you look on any streaming platform, you'll be able to find that. And then BombayRain has a YouTube channel with music and some of our live performances, and all the podcast episodes are on the channel. So you can just search for Bombay Rain. I think from the website you can link to the YouTube channel. So I'd say bombayrain.net, then you can get to that. So those are some of the things that we have out there online, free resources for people to use. A lot of people use the podcast music for meditation and for yoga and things like that. Oh, the other thing is we're on Insight Timer too. So if you go on Insight Timer and look for Nick Young, I have my own channel on Insight Timer with a whole bunch of music on there as well.
I love that. I love that so much. Yes, and I will share the links when I post about you coming to the festival so people can easily find you there. Now, how can our community support you and your gifts that you have so generously shared with us for the festival? For years, you've been sharing your wonderful musical talents and gifts and helping so many of us heal and have connection and have space in our busy lives to slow down. So how can we support you? Is there a CD we can buy? Can we tell somebody about you or about your booking you for music? What is the best way to support you?
Oh, what a lovely question. I think just knowing that people are benefiting or enjoying the music is more than anything else. That's wonderful. You could definitely go on like Apple Music and purchase the album, the Bombay Rain album, if you wanted to. That would be lovely. We don't have CDs anymore, so it's all streaming and digital. So
Oh, wait,
that's
I'm the only one who still buys CDs. Wait a second. Wait a second, right here. I got a CD right.
oh
What?
yeah
Okay, streaming. I got it. Okay,
yeah
streaming.
yeah. That's really good. Sometimes on Insight Timer, people will make a donation, so that's always nice too. So that's a way
Oh,
to do it.
that's lovely.
I would say come to the festival, buy a ticket for the festival, and come and participate and say hello. That's the number one way that I would say to support everything that we're doing. Would be great.
I love that. Thank you so much. And I'll mention that if anybody wants to buy a ticket, we invite you to join us. You can get your ticket at bigbearyogafestival.com. And we have a special discount code from Nick that if you do your checkout and you type this in, you'll get $10 off your ticket. So we
Woo.
hope that, yeah, isn't that a great deal? So save a little cash, come up to the mountains. So now it's very important. The capitalization has to be included. It's not, you can't just put it in and with any lowercase uppercase. It's Bombay Rain, all one word. So B, that's a capital BOMBAY, capital RAIN at checkout to get $10 off. And definitely come up to the mountains and see us. Join Nick in an amazing musical journey and enjoy the mountains and the beautiful community we all create together. So thank you
Oh,
so
it's
much,
gonna be
Nick,
awesome.
for joining me here and taking some time and sharing your wisdom, your heart, and again, your gifts with our community. We're truly blessed to have you in our community. So thank you.
Well, it's an honor, Annalisa. I like you said, I'm. It's one of my favorite things is that I get to do the yoga festival, and I just admire you, and I admire the festival. It's one of those things that it's a pure gift of the heart, and it's not like a big corporate thing or anything like that. It's just something that you and some of the people that you work with do as a service to the community, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Nick, and you too. And the only way the festival continues is if the community comes and enjoys our special event that we create and comes together. And it's important and special. And we call on our community to come join us in celebration and healing. And that's what it's all about. So thank you so much, Nick. Really appreciate it. I can't wait to see you October 4th.
October 4th. Okay, and everybody come see us and come say hello and come join in the celebration. See you all there.